and welcome to the Redcar Rewind, our second episode. A much more pleased team tonight and staff. Redcar 33. Redcar 53.
Yep.
Glasgow 37. Fair to say, I said this to Gavin last week, we didn't see that one coming.
It was always going to be a tough one. I don't think the score necessarily shows how good a meeting it was and how Glasgow raced for every point. I'm not saying we didn't see that coming. I knew that was within our team, and I've said before there is vulnerabilities in that Glasgow team. You know, there's assessed averages in there, things like that. They caught us on a good night. I don't think Glasgow rode that badly. Some outstanding races there. We just finally got the setups right, and the weather was kind to us with the track. We got it exactly how we wanted it, and everything went well.
I know that has been a slight bugbear of the riders, that the track has been different. That's not through the fault of the club, it's through the fault of the weather. But it seems one of the mechanics said to me last week, you should make one change, and that should be that for the rest of the night. That was what we wanted tonight, and hopefully that can continue throughout the remainder of the season.
Yeah, fingers crossed. You want the track consistent every week. Unfortunately, it is the weather that dictates that. So we thought we were going to have a dry and dusty night again tonight because of how it had been all day. But about an hour and a half before start time, it clouded over and come in a little bit chilly, which really played into our hands. And I don't think we saw any just through the night. So we are dictated to by the weather on that, but we do our best to get it exactly how the riders want.
There was some in Heat 1.
If that's all there was, I'll take that.
Okay, wonderful. So going through the Bears 1 to 7, we had our guest Stevie Worrell at number 1. He scored a very respectable 9, did a good job for the side.
Yeah, really good. Even with the last in Heat 1, he still scored well. I felt for him there, we had watered the track heavily to try and counter the heat. And he tried for 4 laps around the outside and come in pretty pitted up after that one. But he dug in after that, didn't let his head go down because of it, which, Stevie's a professional. That's how he goes about his business. We saw again his Heat 13 with Danny. We've seen it with Danny and Richie, just the from riding last year at Poole together. It was a bit telepathic how they rode that race. So it was, really good from Stevie.
And scoring 9 with two lasts is really impressive.
Yeah. So
nothing might be said on that one. Moving on now, number 2, Mr. Daniel Hume. Last week it was let's get rid of Daniel Hume, let's get rid of Conor Bailey, and we don't think much of Jake Mulford either. But tonight, all three of them rode well, starting with Daniel, who got, I believe, 8 or 9.
I'll point out that was never said by me.
So. No, definitely not. No, people on certain forums and certain social media sites.
Yeah, I haven't been on them all week, so I don't know that. Daniel's got something special in there. We just need to get the setups right for him. What's really nice with Daniel is he listens to advice, and that's the type of rider he is. You've got to help him out with the advice, and he takes it in, and he's coming on from it.
It's the type of rider you want as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think once we get his setup sorted out, he's going to be quite formidable around here. He's the type of rider this track suits.
And when I spoke to Gavin a few weeks ago for a preview of a match, it's sometimes about, I'm sure this has been said to him, it's about if you're second, just sitting for your second, if you know the person in front's not going to be caught. But sometimes as a racer, it's hard to tell a racer that.
It's not so much sitting for the second, but you don't have to try and win the race in the first lap. Get across onto that line, consolidate the points position you're in, and then see what you can do. But the last thing we want from our second strings is to give up a point. The way this team's built, I get a bit fed up of saying the thing of people saying we've got a long tail and things. We were forced into having 3 big hitters in the team. I'm not saying that was bad. It wasn't our first choice of how we wanted to build the team, but 3 big hitters we have got. And when you like that, your second strings are going to be picking up third places a lot, and we need them consolidating before they go after the seconds and the paid wins and things like that. And it started coming tonight.
Especially as Daniel Hume and Conor Bailey may in years to come be the Benjamin Bassos of the world, but the Championship's another strong league this year. So sometimes you just got to sit for that point.
Absolutely, yeah. even even when they tucked in on the first laps, um, and you thought, right, they've got that point. Then they went after it, and they saw a few passes from the two of them, and yeah, it was really good to see.
And number 3, the skipper, Charles Wright. Another good night for Charles, including, I know he lost the race, but an incredible race with Benjamin Basso.
Yeah, it was chop and change, that one, wasn't it? Did he only drop that 1 point? I think he did, didn't
13 plus 1.
he? Yeah,
Yeah,
so he
yes.
just dropped that 1 point, yeah. He was quite frustrated at dropping that point. You'd think the match depended on it, and that's how he rides every race. So credit to him on that one. It doesn't matter what the score is or what how many he's scored. He's out for every single point he can get.
But you could see in that one the mind just going, because Ben went to the outside, Charles chopped back up the inside, and it was just, as you said, the score was 16-point deficit for the Tigers, but some of the speedway was the best we've seen so far this season, I'd say.
Yes, I can't remember what heat it was, but Danny made a bad start in one.
Was that 3 abreast?
Yeah,
that will have been heat 11 or something like that.
No, 12. Heat 12.
No, 11. It would have been 11.
It was
yes.
11.
Yes,
yes,
I was right.
I'm very sorry. Yeah, but 3 of them being within 6 inches of each other, going over the line, like 3 abreast going over the finish line. That was quite incredible. I think Danny won it. I think they got that decision wrong. But
I think you sent him over for his lap of honor. I thought you actually, when you sent him for his lap of honor.
Always do the lap of honor,
even if he come third.
Absolutely.
Right, so just pausing there with Mr. Swales, I was joined by Benjamin Basso, so we're going to hear from Benjamin on a good night for the Dane, but a bad night for his side. We're here with Glasgow's star men tonight, Benjamin Basso. Benjamin, a tough one for the side tonight.
Yeah, definitely. This wasn't the way we planned the meeting to go. I think we're down about 16 points, and yeah, we got to do some work to get that back.
And with it being a 2-legged tie, obviously, I know there's the aggregate bonus point in the league. It puts a lot of pressure on you guys ahead of the second leg on Tuesday.
Yeah, it definitely does, but I believe that we are strong at home and we can bounce back from this.
Ambitious.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be.
But onto yourself, some quality riding for yourself tonight. You looked really quick out there. Not many people beat Charles Wright around Redcar, but you did.
I know. I just messed up the setup for my first heat, made the bike too flat, so it didn't really go anywhere. And talked to Nathan, my mechanic, and we got it sorted. And yeah, it all went well from there.
That's all experience, isn't it? So for next time, you'll know.
Yeah, definitely. I made a practice start and it fell flat, so I should have made some change by then. But yeah, I know for now.
Obviously, the Bears, you'll know, struggled last week against the Pool Pirates, but tonight, back on track. Do you think any of the Glasgow riders thought it might be like that again?
Nah, I just believe some of the riders like Klaus Wiesing and Bomber had an off night. Normally we expect like plus 10 points from them. So they just had a bad night and yeah, unfortunately on the same night. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect 5+1 from Bomber ever.
Nah, definitely not. So he just had a rough one today and hopefully he will bounce back. I believe he will.
And last one, on a brighter note, Ace Piper. He's coming on leaps and bounds, isn't he? Because you were here for the silver helmet, and he rode really well in that meeting.
Yeah, he did.
He's going to be some rider, isn't he?
Yeah, he is definitely. He has a bright future, and I believe if he just carries on the way he does now, he will get up there.
Brighter than Benjamin Basso's?
I won't comment on that.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Back now with Jamie Swales for the second part, the concluding part. Going through the rest of our side. At number 4 tonight was the man of the match. Our Tornado. And our Tornado, not their Tornado, absolutely flew.
Yep.
And it was, I'd like to point out actually, it wasn't just gating.
No.
There was that race with Klaus Wiesing, I believe.
Yeah, the first race.
Yeah, which was really good.
I think it's the difference we're getting more laps in with Workington now. He's been the only one not getting extra matches up until now. A couple of weeks ago when Klaus passed him in that race, I think he might have just tucked in behind. But he played a smart move, cut back, got back under Klaus, and he was hard on him as well. It wasn't an easy pass. He got his elbows out and he moved Klaus out the way. And Klaus is an experienced rider. It's not easy to do. It wasn't like he bullied a new rider out the way or anything. He did really well to do that.
Moving on, the real thing, Danny King.
Yeah.
Good performance, but we know there's more to come from Danny. That's not a criticism, and that's worrying for opposition when they come here. But Danny rode well, 2 for 9 for Danny.
Yeah, after heat 4, when he chased Basso for the full race, I said, "You look like you're enjoying yourself there." He went, "I wasn't." Um, he's still searching for the right setup around here.
That's
so
worrying, isn't it?
for the opposition,
Yes.
it is. Yeah, we could see the frustration with him last week. Obviously, the track wasn't grippy enough. If you've got Danny in your side, you need grip on the track, or he's wasted. It was grippier this week, so he just needs to get his setup dialed in, then, and we'll be laughing with him.
Number 6, Jason Edwards. People say Jason didn't have a good night, but he scored above his average. And very intelligent riding here for him.
Yeah. Jason is massively stronger off gates 1 and 2 than he is on 3 and 4. And unfortunately for him, the last 2 weeks, for some reason that we can't work out, gate 4 has been massively advantageous.
About 10 tonight, didn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Now, gate 2 wasn't an advantage this week like it was last week. And it's never been like this before at Redcar. The stats show it's about mid-20% win rate for all 4 gates normally. So we're not really sure why gate 4 for 2 weeks has been outstanding. But Jason needs to work on his outside gates for his gating, because that is his strength, is his gating. So unfortunately, he's been getting bad gates when he's at his strength on the inside. But yeah, heat 14, he showed what he can do. He was fast, intelligent. I was watching the updates last night when he was riding at Sheffield. He beat Tobias, didn't he? Which is outstanding for a rider like Jason. It really cracked me up. The comment on there was, Jason Edwards is in front of Tobias. Tobias tried everything. Jason would not move. And that's what I love. Yep, that's what I love about Jason. He doesn't get flustered. He doesn't get bullied out the way. It doesn't matter who's behind him. If he gets in front, he will park it on that curb and not let anyone past him. And Heat 14 showed that again. It was outstanding.
But if your side win by 16 points and your reserve, who may move up in the main body, scores 4+1, he won't move up that soon. So you might have 7 rides out of him. So there's a silver lining there.
He'll be moving up.
Or in the next set of averages?
Yeah, he'll be moving up.
There we go, then.
There'll be a few changes in the team for the next set of average, like the lineups.
Not team changes?
Not team changes, no. So, yeah, that'll be happening before Scunthorpe.
So do you get that information before everyone else gets that?
Yeah, it's been distributed today, actually. Okay. So, yeah, we'll discuss that after the Glasgow away leg. We'll get out of the way before we start thinking about the changes in the lineups.
Fair enough. And moving on, last one, Jake Mulford. Now, everyone in the stadium, well, every Redcar fan in the stadium, absolutely loved Heat 2.
Yep.
And that's what Jake Mulford can do.
Yep. It's been so hard for him so far this year, just getting the bike set up right. He's a grass tracker. They like grip. We haven't had grippy tracks so far. He got in front and left him for dead in Heat 2. It was 55.1, I think his time was, which is a fast time for anyone around here.
Let alone a reserve.
Yeah. And it wasn't just a flash in the pan. He picked up points in 2 more heats, did he? Yeah. And he raced for them as well. It wasn't easy. He had to pass Ace in one of them. So
it might have just been one, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he was in the mix in nearly every race. Made a little bit of a mess at the start when he was off Heat 2. But it comes with experience.
Not Heat 2.
Gate 2.
Oh, sorry.
Off Gate 2. He lifted and he couldn't quite get it down before he got into the corner, so he didn't get turned at the right time. But again, it comes with experience, and the fact he was doing that and he was in the mix into the first bends, that's a big step forward. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, he rode intelligent as well. I said to you earlier that Ace, he rode on the outside, Ace passed him. He repassed him on bends 1 and 2, but then he stuck it on the curb, so that shows he's learning even when he's on the track. Yeah,
he's listening to what he's being told and he's learning the track. Before this season, he hasn't done much speedway, to be honest. It's more grass track. He's done bits and pieces, so he's learning fast.
And just a word on the opposition. Ben Basso, very good. Bomber, Vissing, off night. But Ace Piper's going to be some rider, isn't he?
Ace Piper's going to be very good.
Theo?
Theo's been a good rider for a long time. I think Theo would be quite happy if Ace was better than him, though. And Steen, the younger brother,
there's not just Ace, is there?
Steen's a couple of years behind, and he's equally as good. So
it's like a production line, isn't it?
Well, I don't think Carrie would like it being called that, but
And so Ben Basso, the star man for the Tigers.
Yes, Yeah, I thought. Do you know what? I thought a lot of them rode pretty well. Brennan rode pretty well.
Especially his first one, he did go out there in the first one and
Yeah,
look unbelievable.
yeah. I just thought it was one of them nights where we rode better. I don't think there was a couple of them had bad nights, but I thought it was just the fact we rode better.
And last one, it's very important, isn't it, that when we go on when I go on Tuesday, you can't make it, can you?
Some of us have to work, Ryan.
Oh, week off.
Mm.
So it's very important when we go on Tuesday that we just don't defend, isn't it? We've got to.
Oh, go on the attack.
Yeah, you can't defend.
Don't let Glasgow say this. So, yeah. They've got to think we're just going to hang on to the 16 points, don't they? So yeah, no, yeah, same mentality as when we went to Pool. That's what we've got to go with.
Right, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
No problem.
The Redcar Rewind. It was great to have so many viewers last week. Share this. Hopefully, get some more viewers for this episode and future episodes. So, Bears 53, Glasgow 37. Up the Bears.
Up the Bears.